13.2 Contemporary Issues in Sport Within Football by Finlay Deedman. Issue 1 Violence. Modern-day football is descended from the brutal game of mob football. This ruleless game thrived off horrific violence. The game was so violent it was ultimately stamped out by society, resulting in it evolving into football as we know today. We can clearly see links between the two, especially when it comes to the culture of the players, which is often the cause of extreme violence. Nowhere is this more apparent than when England was banned from the Euros in 1985 due to horrific manslaughter where Liverpool fans charged and crushed the Italian team fans against a concrete wall, resulting in 39 deaths and 600 injured, resulting in 14 Liverpool fans being sentenced and jailed for manslaughter, and all English football clubs being banned from playing in Europe for 5 years. Football has always been stereotyped as a violent and uncivilized game, which unfortunately some individuals prove correct. It is commonplace to hear of brutal fights or riots erupting after a football match among disheartened fans or individuals who use the match as an excuse to get into fights. Fans often become very intoxicated at football matches, which, coupled with the powerful energy erupting from the thousands of dedicated fans of the match, intensifies emotions to intense levels, resulting in extreme reactions to things such as losses, which can easily lead to fights that spread like wildfire among fans, who often then conform together, making fans feel safe and anonymous, leading to extreme behaviour that they would never do when alone, but feel acceptable as the fans are a collective. This issue is not a lost cause. There is still lots that can be done to solve it, such as stricter punishments, as this violence currently holds no more than a night in cell. The most severe punishment they receive would be the hangover the next day. So harsher punishments such as fines, bans, or even criminal records will be implemented to deter violence among fans. Stopping sales of alcohol inside stadiums could also aid towards tackling violence in football, such as sober fans are less likely to react as fiercely. Player violence. If we do talk about player violence, we must first understand the difference between assertion and hostile aggression. Assertion is simply strong play, such as a powerful tackle which holds no intent to harm any players. The player is purely focused on the match and holds no anger towards the other player. Where hostile aggression, players no longer focus on the match, with them purely intent on causing harm to the other player, with no tactical link, with them solely acting out of anger or frustration, such as the player harmed didn't have the ball. Player violence is prevalent in the culture of football, but there are certain things that can encourage this sort of behaviour among football communities. Numerous things cause players to act violently in matches, such as frustration caused by opposition, referee, or simply their own performance, because of the extreme pressure placed upon them by sponsors and coaches. There are solutions to this problem. We must focus on reinforcing good behaviour, such as good sportsmanship, and punishing negative behaviour, such as fouling, in young players to ensure that they grow up knowing exactly what is acceptable and what is not. It is the responsibility of parents and coaches to raise the next generation of footballers who respect the game, in the hopes that one day violence can be eliminated from football, so everyone can enjoy the game without the worry of potential threats from fans or players. Violence in football doesn't only come from the culture, it also comes from arousal levels of players. A medium level of arousal in a player during a match can be beneficial and aid their performance to push themselves. Problems begin to arise when arousal levels reach high levels, such as players forgetting the game as they become overwhelmed with emotions and aggression.